Hello, crypto friends. Hope you're doing well. Just getting back from a surprise visit to Ottawa to crash a TCG meetup party. Had a really good time there. And now we're looking at some action. And funny, one of our members at the party brought up his phone and said, hey, check out Bitcoin. And that was when Bitcoin made the initial move on Saturday night. And now we're getting the follow through. And this follow through is notable. Also want to give a shout out to everybody that corrected me, because in the last video where I was talking about the descending wedge, I referred to it as a triangle a couple times. So I mixed that up. A descending triangle has a horizontal base of support with multiple touches. The wedge is what we had, which is a generally bullish pattern where we have a tightening range, so to speak, and that range gets a clear bull break, which we are now seeing follow through. So this is what the wedge looked like. There's our bull break, and it's notable on a lot of short-term timeframes in terms of little signals that we are seeing. I personally made an entry this morning on the first 5 minutes of the bull move. And I was fortunate to catch it then, because at any point after that first 5 minutes, you're now chasing, and you're chasing against the trend right into the daily exponential resistance. So this is the second time that I've made a bull entry using a market order. I talked about it in a video maybe a week and a half ago where I did the exact same thing. And my reasoning for doing that is feeling that the shorts are extremely high, wanting the potential of the daily bounce to follow through and getting a position for that. So I have now taken a third of my profit. My average ended up being on this candlestick with the market order fees factored in about 33.60, and I just took profit at 35.15 or something along those lines. So locked in a third of that profit, and now still holding 2/3 of my position, because this is a notable shift in momentum on what's occurring right now, and shorts are not really responding to it yet as they should be, in my opinion. We should be seeing more shorts covering right now. They should be a little bit more let's say a little bit more. They should be doing it faster is the bottom line. But what we're looking at is the 4-hour time frame. We could see after the first candlestick this morning that a bull cross of the 12 and 26 period was going to come. And we could anticipate that was going to happen. And the last time that that happened was back here, and that was about 3 weeks ago. So the first bull cross of those exponential moving averages in 3 weeks, we had the higher low on the 4-hour time frame. The higher high got the bull break. Huge volume. This is the most significant bull move that we've seen on this 4-hour time frame since the dump from 6,000. So that obviously has me paying attention. We have the daily exponential resistance that we continuously watch. This is the furthest above the 12-period exponential resistance that we have seen in quite some time. Litecoin has been the leader on this bull move out of some of the major names, just in terms of being really strong. We'll look at that in just a moment. But there's all these little clues that were showing us to be looking for the potential of a bull move. The biggest for me was the wedge. And that was initially pointed out by some of our members. I believe Julian was the first post where he was talking about the wedge on the daily time frame. So shout out to Julian and whoever else was talking about it. But that's what had my interest, and that's why I was confident, not even confident, but wanting to buy in with that market order on that first 5-minute bull move, for the potential of the shift in psychology and the shift in sentiment in this space. And in my opinion, that's now taking place. And we're going to look for a bounce on the weekly and for a lower high to form. Still need a lot more follow through on the daily time frame over this exponential resistance. But we just broke the daily lower highs. We had resistance of a lower high at 34.86, which just broke. Now we're looking up at 36.43. If 36.43 breaks, that's the highest price that we've seen in 2 weeks. And again, it's just going to constantly put pressure on these shorts. And you can see we're extremely overextended on these shorter term timeframes. The hourly RSI is cruising above 80, and we hadn't even hit above 80 on the entire drop since 6,000. So again, we're seeing all these little clues. This hasn't happened since the drop from 6,000. This hasn't happened since the drop from 6,000. So that tells us the shift is going on. The first time that we're seeing this, again, just a wall of bull volume. And we're looking for the 15-minute exponential moving averages. When we lose those exponential moving averages and lose the 15-minute uptrend, we'll be looking for hourly consolidation to form a higher low. Next time we consolidate on the 4-hour, we're going to look for a higher low and the exponential moving averages to be support. So short-term bulls on every single time frame from the daily under are now comfortable. And that's why I'm comfortable holding my 2/3 position remaining. And I'm happily going to sit through hourly consolidation to give the potential of follow through. Daily chart and weekly chart still favoring the bulls. The daily chart is starting to shift. Those exponential moving averages, the daily lower highs changing. So there's a bit of a shift going on. And looking at the shorts right now, The shorts are just about all-time highs still. We're not seeing covering anywhere near what I would be anticipating if you told me that Bitcoin was going to see a 10% day. So at this point, the shorts are still extremely high. And if we continue this pressure, we are looking at the potential of a short squeeze. This hourly volume on this last candlestick is massive. I'm watching Coinbase and I'm seeing aggressive bid support that I have not seen in a very long time. Just in terms of, 200 Bitcoin bids walking the price up and not allowing for much consolidation whatsoever. That's keeping the pressure on the shorts. So I've talked about what the shorts or what the bulls need to do to see short squeezes. And for me, it was bull flags, right? We need just brief consolidation before continuation. We had the initial 5-minute bull move, 10 minutes of consolidation into continuation, and then it's been brief consolidation into continuation for the entirety rest of the day. What also stands out to me is the fact that right now the S&P 500 is down 1.5%, breaking to the lowest price that we've seen in months and is notably weak. And I would anticipate, and what we've seen in the recent past, the last couple months, is that when the market is weak, we're not really seeing Bitcoin respond to it because, in my opinion, people are not going to be putting their funds, taking it out of the stock market because they're fearful and putting it into a really high risk asset like cryptocurrency at this point. So I'm going to be watching to see if there's any, continued inverse correlation between the market and Bitcoin. But it's just notable to me that on a pretty high fear day for the market, that Bitcoin is seeing the most significant bullish move that we've seen in recent memory. And I guess my memory is fairly short term because it's still less of a bull move than we saw at the end of November, but the most significant bull move in 3 weeks. And the bulls still holding on to this momentum right now and still applying this pressure to the shorts. You can see we're not even seeing this 5-minute consolidation. So I'm going to continue holding my 2/3 position. If we lose the hourly uptrend, and I might even extend it to the 4-hour uptrend, I'll have to decide, which time frame I'm going to use the uptrend for the rest of my position. But very comfortable at this point, especially having already locked in 1/3 of that profit. So congrats to the bulls that either got in on the break of the 4-hour lower highs or on the continuation move of 32.58 breaking. And now the question is, how much pressure can we put on the shorts to continue this bull move? And the shorts are not covering. So Ethereum on the daily time frame. Bull move. Most important resistance for a lot of individual names is the high of either December 8th or December 9th. And here we are approaching that key resistance. That's the highest price that we've seen in multiple weeks. 98.30 is resistance, and here we are coming up to that level right now. So 98.30 will be a key level. The 4-hour time frame has the bull cross of the exponential moving averages. Bulls in absolute complete control with increasing huge bull volume on the 4-hour time frame. When we consolidate, we know a higher low is going to form. The hourly chart, again, very extended. There's a lot of shorts on Ethereum as well, and they're not allowing the shorts to cover on consolidation. So still pushing the price higher. As I'm talking right now, Bitcoin is still running up at the high of the day. So this is a very notable, significant bull statement, in my opinion. The question is, can they continue it for a couple of days now? So if you are looking bearish, be very careful. I personally would be waiting for an hourly or a trend change on these time frames, even the 15-minute. Just waiting for a trend change so you have a stop level to use to exit your short if the bulls keep running. Or, the last thing you want to do is try and short into a move like this because there's a bit of a short squeeze going on, and it's essentially trying to catch a falling knife on the way down. So if Bitcoin's dumping and there's no support, it's like scaling into that lack of any support if you're trying to short into this move right now. So again, to be more cautious, I would be waiting for the short-term trends to be lost to have a clear resistance level to use on your short entries at that point. If you're looking bullish, again, if you're not in at this point, it's hard to justify an entry. And it's been hard to justify an entry for the bulls over the last few hours even because of what we've seen the last couple months and because of where we stood on RSI levels on all time frames, which is why I was fortunate to get in on that first 5-minute candlestick, because had I not done that, I would not be comfortable making entries with the action that we're seeing, just because it's so completely different than anything that we've seen recently that, for us to expect the hourly RSI to cruise above 80 for 3 hours in a row, we just can't expect that. That's not something that we would ever be able to anticipate because it hasn't happened in so long. So at this point, bulls need to wait for consolidation on the hourly or the 4-hour time frame, in my opinion. Otherwise, it is definitely FOMO and definitely chasing. At this point, FOMO or chasing 3 hours ago would have worked out. But like I said, the ability to anticipate that would be the case is very difficult and hard to do. So key resistance test on Ethereum is approaching. Litecoin up 18.62%. And Litecoin started breaking resistances before Bitcoin did. The daily lower highs are breaking. Look at us blow through the December 8th and 9th highs here. The next daily resistance level for Litecoin is 3480. And at this point, with the double bottom, 2224 and 2217, we have now seen a massive move of about 30%, perhaps just under 30% on the daily time frame. So we zoom out to the weekly, and we're just looking for a weekly lower high because anything under 55.94 is a weekly lower high. But the lack of resistance is allowing the bulls to move here. And it's the same thing, very extended. The 4-hour time frame got consolidation and continuation before Bitcoin did. The 4-hour RSI is very overbought. The hourly RSI is very overbought, but a very clear uptrend, higher lows and higher highs. Litecoin, because it ran so far ahead faster, is seeing more support established. So look at this clear, healthy hourly higher low of 27.43 that occurred 3 hours ago. And you look at Bitcoin on the hourly, we don't have any clear hourly support like that. We have a very brief pullback to 33.79 before we saw that continuation. So Litecoin is a little bit less extended in that regard because support is a little bit more clearly established. So anything above 27.43 will be an hourly higher low to keep the bulls in full control. But as far as the major players go, Litecoin is standing out as one of the lead bulls. XRP USD, significant bull break, but again, the high of December 8th or 9th is what we're watching. Just like Ethereum, we're about to test that level. That's at 34.07. So coming up on that level, the 4-hour time frame, very overextended, declining bull volume at this point. Still time to go, but make note of that. 4-hour time frame, Litecoin, it is going to be increasing by the close of the candlestick. 4-hour for Ethereum is notably increasing, and Bitcoin on the 4-hour volume is going to be notably increasing as well. So XRP does stand out because it's not seeing that happen. Hourly, anything above 31 is an hourly higher low, and we're just going to be looking for an hourly higher low of healthy consolidation later this afternoon. Probably shortly after this video uploads, we'll be looking for that to be the case. EOS USD has had a big bull move as well. It's been one of the weaker names, but we never broke to a lower low. So the altcoins that did not drop to a lower low on the daily had a bit of an advantage. Litecoin held a double bottom by 8 pennies we broke, but that's a double bottom in my book. And EOS formed a higher low here and held that support. So now we're breaking the high of December 8th and 9th. Key bull break of 217. Next resistance level is up at 305 and 307. So a lack of resistance here. 4-hour time frame is going to have some increasing bull volume. We still have an hour in this candlestick. Hourly time frame, anything above 218.5 will be an hourly higher low. I've got soup that's getting too hot. Don't let crypto burn your soup. So hourly higher lows on watch. And we'll see if we get continuation. I mean, the most significant thing that the bulls could do to continue the pressure on all these shorts right now is an hourly bull flag. Brief consolidation. The bears are going to say, oh, finally we're consolidating. And if they just pull off a bull flag and then continue this rip of a bull move, that's going to start to make shorts really nervous. And I'm sure that's going to start some liquidations as well. So very significant. Again, at this point, FOMO early on would have worked out. It would have been, you know, any FOMO of this degree anytime in the last 2 months of trading would have been a terrible decision. This time it would have worked out. So again, you can't look at this and say, oh man, I should have entered because I knew it was going to get follow through, when it's a 1 in 10, 1 in 20 kind of scenario for this to actually follow through. At this point, bulls need to be patient, and we'll see if that hourly consolidation gets bought up by bulls that missed the initial move, continuing to put pressure on those shorts. And it's going to be an interesting next couple of days here as we look for, again, follow through on the daily to give us a bounce on the weekly to look for just a lower high on the weekly timeframes. But this is the first significant shift in momentum in terms of breaking lower highs on the daily timeframe since the break of 6,000 has occurred. So it is notable. Congrats to the bulls that got in, and protect those positions. We know we're still in a weekly downtrend. So the last thing we want to do is, hold on for dear life and then drop to lower lows. And I am going to continue holding my 2/3 position until we lose. I'm going to use the 4-hour time frame at this point. So if we lose the 4-hour uptrend, I will exit, and that's not going to happen tonight. That's not going to happen tomorrow morning. And perhaps in a couple days, I will exit that position. But at this point, very notable bull volume, and excited to see what kind of pressure the shorts can get put under here. So I hope you all continue to do good things, and we will continue to check back in, certainly livening up the space a bit with this move. And that's that. Have a great day. We'll see you soon. The chart, guys. Technical analysis. No FUD, no FOMO. Bitcoin, Litecoin, Ethereum. All-time high.
Let's start.
Trade like a robot. Higher low, lower high. Are we in a bubble? The Bulls versus the Bears. Stick to the chart. All-time high.